Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call our council meeting to order tonight. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan? Here. Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Here.
Councilperson Brown? Here. Mayor Bradley?
Here. The invocation tonight's going to be given by Councilperson Brown.
Stand.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather in this place. We appreciate all the citizens that are giving up their time tonight to be with us, Lord. Guide and direct every decision made here, Lord, that it be to the glory of you. Please be with those people in our communities and surrounding communities, Lord, who've lost their children and whom the child in Springville is fighting for her life tonight, Lord. We just pray that you comfort them and encourage them with power that only you can, Lord. We pray that you be with Connie Suggs in the journey that has just been opened up for her, Lord. We pray for healing there. We thank you for this day without rain. We thank you, Lord, for all the blessings that you bestowed upon us. In your name we pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now, first on the agenda is going to be the approval of the minutes of 6/12/17 and 6/26/17. Does anybody want to make a motion that we approve these minutes with the exception of the corrections that was noted in the work session?
I make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next, at the mayor's report, I would like to say that I know that a lot of y'all were aware of Judge Chambly's son passing away. He sent a very nice card, and I'm going to read that card tonight to my council. It says, "Dear Mayor Bradley, council and staff, thank you for the beautiful funeral arrangements sent to my son's funeral. They were placed next to his casket. I am blessed to work for and be associated with such godly friends and people. It is my honor to serve. Your thoughts, calls, prayers, and presence was so comforting in my time of loss. Your brother in Christ, Carl." I don't have anything other than to read that because I know a lot of people helped with those flowers, and we appreciate that. Attorney Barnett, do you have anything? Okay, police report, Captain Wells, but he's not here, so I guess Chief Downton's going to do it.
He's in Mobile, lucky dog. We had 15 misdemeanor reports in June, had 15 false alarms, 814 dispatch calls, 4 domestic violence, 47 officer assists, 66 911 calls, 538 patrol requests, 43 public assists, 52 calls on I-59 for a total of 1,082 calls for the month of June. Had 16 driver license violations, 5 DUI, 1 dog running at large.
Does anybody have any questions for Chief Downton? Chief, you would like to report that your car's in?
Got 10, it's in Montgomery.
Tony, do you want to add that to the agenda and then let's vote on?
I'd like to make a motion that we add $172.50 expenditure to have a chief's car delivered if we are unable to pick it up on Saturday when we're down for education in Montgomery. Add it to the agenda. Perfect. Yeah.
They'll make the check for $26,520.50. I'll say, cover my chief conference in this month.
No, that's what I was asking you, if you had anything else to add, if you want to bring that up, you can
I
also.
thought y'all talked about last week.
We'd already approved it last meeting, didn't
No,
No, we didn't, but that needs to be brought up separately.
let's go ahead and do this one first, then we'll let you bring up your chief conference. I had a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
we? Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Now you want to make the motion
So
to,
now I'd like to make a motion to actually expend that $172.50 if council is not able to pick it up on Saturday from the dealership. For delivery.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Now would you like to bring up your conference?
Yeah, within the budget, I talked to Big Ice tonight, I talked with Tony. It's the end of this month, Sunday through Thursday, check out on Thursday, 4 nights, $199 a night, in Orange Beach, Chief Conference. Until we get our CEUs, well, they supposed to make sure we're there.
And that's once a year, right?
We do it in Montgomery, Orange Beach,
Tony, you want to make that motion?
Yes, I was looking for the total.
What was the total again?
8356 for the hotel room. $199 a night, they get you on taxes. They got to make some money on room rent. 8750.
What's the cost of the conference, chief?
It's $300 to pay for
It's already paid for.
it.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for the expenditure of $883.56 to pay for Chief Downing's hotel room, and that is at a rate of $199 per night for the conference.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Okay, did you want to bring up the door?
No, we're going to table that.
Okay.
Captain Wells is going to provide us that information, but he will not be able to do it this evening.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda is going to be our fire report, Chief Platts.
We issued out right at 20 burn permits this month, or last month. We had 1 structure fire, 27 medical calls, 3 motor vehicle accidents, and 4 trees. I say trees, pumps of trees down, power lines down, that to be addressed. Currently, engine 1's in the shop. As y'all know, we put over $2,200 worth of tires on it. For some reason, it's pulling harder to the right now. So we put it in the shop today in Birmingham to get an alignment. We don't know how it costs. We don't know what. Usually, when a big truck pulling hard, it's something messed up, has to be replaced. But it's one of the deals where we got to do it before we eat up $2,200 of tires and stuff to get it replaced anyway. So I don't have the faintest idea what that's going to cost. They wouldn't even talk about a price as far as
Where does it go to? Big Mo?
It's down off Oxmoor Road. I'll get the name plate. Mine just went blank on what the name place was. It's a place we don't usually use. There ain't too many places in town to do alignments on those big trucks. I'd like to make a proposal. We change the name of the Argo Parkway to something along with the babies delivery alley or something. To date, we delivered another baby there at Jack's parking lot.
How many did this make, 3, 4?
Close to 5 this year alone. So everybody's trying to make it in town and they're not making it.
Hospital over
So we need to change the name from Argo Parkway to Argo Babies Parkway or something. Stop here to deliver your baby. But that's really all I have.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the chief? Only thing I would like to ask Mike is that you put on record that you're asking, that you have taken another job and that you're asking to still continue as our part-time police chief, fire chief, I'm sorry.
Correct.
Do you mind saying that on record?
Yeah, I've taken another job and requesting to be, remain as part-time fire chief.
Okay, thank you.
And Chief, do you mind sharing, okay, what we're talking about out there? You want to do that, or?
Well, we just mentioned we ain't coming up with conclusions or anything. I think we already suggested pre-council as well. Adjustment on the salary, would be fair. But we've got to come up with what's fair.
Right, and I had also asked you if that was, if that was the only position that you were interested in doing was part-time chief. You said that
I'd like to stay with the city, with the fire department, Argo Fire Department in some capacity on the payroll and, serve the citizens of Argo and the fire department in some capacity, regardless of what it is at that minimum.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Chief. Next is our road report. Corky, do we have anything to report?
Ronnie's talked to a couple of people about Katy Lane, and it's like kind of what I ran up against. Nobody wants to come talk to you. Everybody's got so much going on. He's got one guy that's supposed to be working, and I'll beat the bushes again too. But we've got this complaint from Adrian Minton, and we had it. I've done been out there to see her. I sympathize with her, but her hole is
On her property?
20 feet off of our property. And it is a pipe that runs from across the street and comes up in her yard, but the problem there is somebody, before they sold her the house, covered that hole up, stopped the pipe up. Now, all this big rain has blown it back out. There was always a ditch down through her yard, and whoever sold her the house, he said she's been there 6 months or something, had covered the pipe up and did away with the ditch. I don't think it's our place to put the ditch back. I don't think she'd like the ditch back, but she don't like the hole either, so I told her I'd come back over and we'd look at it again and discuss what to do. And then the thing with Timber Ridge, I went and looked at up here, you knew the name of the street that angles off there, where John Owens Road used to be and stuff.
Valley Wood?
No, that's,
No, I can't think of that.
About the loop.
no, it runs in behind my house, that street that angles off where they're building all the garden homes now. The water is going under the Margaret Road, but it used to go down the Margaret Road, and I think, just looking, there's a road kind of built just below this pipe, but it's also acting as a dam to keep the water from going down Margaret Road. And I think probably whoever built those two houses down there put that in to keep the water from going on down that way. And instead, it's turning all the water into Timber Ridge. And it's Dan Dalkey's call because it's a county road. But I'll get with him and talk, I'll get with him and see what he thinks.
So there's really nothing that the city can do?
No, but we can encourage the county to, because it is, Timber Ridge is our subdivision and they're having problems down there.
Appreciate you,
I
Kate.
know firsthand from trying to help them with some.
Okay, appreciate that, Corky. Is there anything else, any other roads?
I think that was good.
Okay, moving along, the food bank report, Jim Lee.
We don't have anything.
Don't have anything to report. Team council, Ms. Emma Owens, is she here tonight? She's not here tonight. Okay, now we're gonna have the second reading of the moratorium. Attorney Barnett's gonna read that.
Mayor, this would be, as you mentioned, the second reading, and then it would be ready for formal council consideration following the, it would be the second reading and obviously ready for your consideration after this reading. Bear with me, it's only 2 pages, but it tends to get a little bit wordy. This is a moratorium on certain new sign construction and installation, whereas it is the responsibility of the governing body of the city of Argo to set policies, ordinances, establish plans, and enact regulations which improve the safety and quality of life for everyone who lives, works, and does business in the city, and to attract new residents and new and diverse businesses to become a part of the community. And whereas the city of Argo is uniquely situated along the U.S. Highway 11 corridor, adjacent to the U.S. Interstate 59 right-of-way, and along St. Clair County Road 6. And whereas the council finds that the overdevelopment of billboard-type signage within the territorial confines of the city limits of Argo would hinder certain efforts to properly develop Highway 11 corridor, would be detrimental to the city's development, and could likely cause significant distractions for the traveling public with the city. And whereas the city of Argo finds it necessary, proper, and in the public interest to reassess its planning and business license ordinance, policies, and procedures concerning the location of billboard-type signage. And whereas the Argo City Council finds that it is necessary and proper for the promotion of the prosperity and welfare of the citizens in the best interest of the city to declare a moratorium on the issuance of business licenses or approvals for billboard-type signage while the city researches, studies, and develops an appropriate development plan for the location and the regulations for these structures as it relates to public safety and proper land development within the city. Now therefore be it ordained by the city of Argo that, number one, recitals above are true, correct, and included herein as if fully set forth. There is hereby declared a moratorium on the issuance of all business, license, and permits for the placement of additional billboard signage throughout the city, and no such signage shall be permitted during the pendency of said moratorium. For the purpose of this ordinance, the term billboard shall include any off-premises outdoor advertising sign that is owned by a person, company, or legal entity that engages in the renting or leasing of advertising space on signs for dissemination of information or for a business, service, commodity, activity, or entertainment at a location other than the premises on which the sign is located. This definition shall not include signs erected for or maintained by the State Department of Transportation or by an entity authorized by the state providing direction or information to the traveling public. This moratorium is not intended to impact those billboards currently constructed within the city of Argo. Number 5, any request, application, or other question in reference to this ordinance shall be submitted and decided by the city council in a manner consistent with the requirements and terms identified herein. The mayor and staff shall have full authority to do those things, perform those functions, make such decisions, and to sign necessary documentation in order to carry out the full, complete, the actions so authorized herein. Provisions of this ordinance are severable. If any part of this ordinance is determined to be by a court of law to be invalid, unenforceable, or unconstitutional, such determination shall not affect any part of this ordinance. If any part, section, subsection, paragraph, subparagraph, sentence, phrase, clause, term, or word of this article is declared unconstitutional by the valid judgment or decree of any court of competent jurisdiction, the declaration of such unconstitutionality shall not affect any other part, section, subsection, paragraph, subparagraph, sentence, phrase, clause, term, or word of this ordinance. This ordinance shall become effective following the proper posting or advertising according to law.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to adopt ordinance number 2017-6-01?
I make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman? Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Police conference has already been discussed. The police door will be tabled. We tabled the RPCGB dues. Okay, weekend cleanup, Ann?
Yes, we're going to be able to have a weekend cleanup instead of a week cleanup. We're gonna have a weekend cleanup. Advanced Disposal has offered to do that for us free. The dates for that is gonna be Friday, July 28th through Sunday, July 30th. They will deliver the two commercial-sized dumpsters to City Hall on Friday morning, and they will pick them up on early Monday morning. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 28th, 29th, and 30th are the only days that we're gonna have for the summer cleanup.
Okay, thank you. Council Brown. Okay, Terry, I'm gonna let you say that last name.
Scripture.
Scripture. He is with Civitan, and he would like to do a little presentation as to what the Civitan does. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I'm Terry Scripture. I'm the PR director for Civitan International. It's an organization based in Birmingham, founded in Birmingham 100 years ago. And what we do is we start clubs around different communities around the world, really, mostly in America, but we're in almost 50 countries as well. And what we do is try to support each community by addressing needs they may see and taking on projects. It might be a library, for example, like you're mentioning. It might be a food bank, it might be a senior center, but what I would like to do is try to put together a meeting and get together and see who might be interested in getting one started here in our community. And have you heard of it before? Anybody? So I guess the next thing I really want to do is just talk about when we can get together and ask you guys to help me support bringing people in.
I don't know if any of y'all are aware of what really the Civitan does, but I'm a member of the Trustful Civitan Club, and the food bank has also been involved with the Civitan in Trustful. The Civitan basically supports, like, they do the Miracle Walk thing, they do, they're not only locally, but they're international, and what they really do is go around to the local business and try to get all of them involved in sponsoring their events. They go out and build ramps for handicap. It's not just one thing they do. They have several events around, that they do. And Terry is interested in trying to get something like that started for Argo. So what he would like to do is talk to some of our local business and get them involved in trying to help some of our citizens and try to get them involved in trying to help him get his club started. So if anybody's interested in doing this, see Terry and he can explain a little bit more when he wants to go around and do this. And does the council have any questions they'd like to ask him?
I'm in favor of it. This is sort of like, Ann and I have been talking for years about some kind of chamber of commerce. We've never got it. This would do.
This would be fantastic for the city.
And the cool thing is that you get to address, needs in your own community. It's not just like she was saying. It's not just like we have one thing we do worldwide. It can be a food bank. It can be wheelchair ramps. It can be my club in Birmingham just fed dinner to a homeless shelter, then fed dinner to some people going through chemotherapy. So you find out what people what your neighbors need basically, and you go help them.
Another thing they do too is like the Hope Lodge, and I don't know if y'all are aware of the Hope Lodge, but the Hope Lodge is a cancer facility that if you live within a certain miles from the hospital where you're having your treatment, you can go there and stay free. I know the Civitan goes in every so often and they feed that group of people because they have a kitchen there and refrigerator, but they do not furnish them meals. And I know, when someone's in the hospital, it's expensive traveling back and forth, especially if you live, a good ways from the hospital. It gets expensive trying to have a place to stay and take care of your loved ones and then feed yourself too. So their organization goes in and feeds the Hope Lodge at times.
We think we're a long way from the hospital, but, my wife's been in the hospital a bunch lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in the lobby talking to people in weight rooms and lobbies, and we got people from Mississippi and Florida and Georgia, Tennessee and Kentucky coming to UAB. And it ain't near as hard on me for her to be at UAB as it is those families. They're sleeping on couches, and it just,
Well, some of us has went and done that. We have been to Hope Lodge and seen, you know, and the people are so appreciative because they have no other way, because they're just scrimping by, because if you're out of state and you stay here for any length of time, you know, it gets to be expensive. But if anyone's interested in doing this, and, you know, getting with Terry, we would like to get with Terry and let him go around some of our local businesses and talk to some of them, and if anybody else is interested from the public, a citizen or anything, because they can always use volunteers for this program. So if anyone's interested, just see Terry.
I guess there's a website too.
There is a website, it's
It'd be a good website.
pt1of2.org, and it should be on the brochures that Cindy just passed out. And you can always email me at pr@pt1of2.org if you have any questions at all. I'll be glad to help you, and I'd love to come around and talk to some of you about it.
So, Mr. Chair, will you be visiting the businesses in Argo, or do you need a group of people to help you visit the?
I'd love to have a
What
group
can
of
we
people.
do? I guess what I'm saying is, as council persons, what can I do, what can we do to help you in organizing?
Well, when we have our meetings, typically a club will meet twice a month, and you'll have one that's more of a business meeting, kind of sit down and planning stuff, and another one's more of a social meeting, getting together and just getting to know each other and talking about things you want to work on. So maybe helping find a place to meet, perhaps, and maybe helping meet some of the people in businesses that I haven't met yet. I've tried to meet most of them already, but
I don't mind that. You know, we talked about a chamber of commerce with Civitan.
Would you and Ann like to work with Terry on?
I'll be glad to,
Yeah.
just get a schedule
Okay.
of days.
Before you leave, Terry, exchange numbers with Corky and with Ann, and then we can try to, you know, get some people to get a group together to discuss what y'all want to do, go and, you know, talk to the businesses or
okay.
what. Anybody have anything else? Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we have Owen Walton, St. Clair County Sheriff's Department.
I just need these to frisbee.
Do a presentation up there.
I'm not going to get, I was in the police department, police report this month, by the way.
Do we need to dim those lights changed so they can see? Or turn some of the lights down? Can everyone see that? Yeah.
I would like to reinforce that they're not here to arrest me.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, for inviting us up here tonight.
Appreciate you coming.
I'm Investigator Walton. I'm with the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Sheriff's Office since 1998. And in January, the Sheriff was good enough to give me some help in here, and this is Mark Slezak. So now there's two of us in the sex abuse, sex offender management with the Sheriff's Office. So tonight, I understand there's some concerns in the neighborhood about some flyers mayor contacted me, and I thought, well, this would all be a great idea to come in and explain sex offender law, not its entirety, because it is such a huge, huge criminal law. And there's so many twists and turns in it. So I think you have some attorneys in here that might have already dealt with it in the past. So we're going to go through some of the big issues that you have. Can they be with children? Can they not? Where can they go? Can they live? Where can they work? And what are we doing as law enforcement out here at night to kind of keep an eye on these people? And it's really a tough job.
Do you mind waiting a second to hold it down there? We're not hearing this.
As of last week, these are the total amount of sex offenders roughly of last week in the state, 14,000 convicted sex offenders in the state of Alabama. In Blount County, there's 140. Shelby, 210. St. Clair comes in 241. Talladega at 251. Calhoun County at 302. Jefferson County, 933 sex offenders. And that is an amazing amount because all convicted sex offenders have to report 4 times a month. So you can figure the bodies that are rolling in and out of the sheriff's office in Jefferson County every month. Go ahead. Now I'm just going to kind of brief you real quickly on where did sex offender registration come from. Obviously it's from tracking people who abuse children, sexual assaults. But in Megan's Law, kind of really got the ball going back in the 90s. The state of New Jersey adopted this act, registration and notification, on October of '94. After the rape and murder of 7-year-old Megan Kanka, if I'm pronouncing that right. 2001, the state mandated internet access to the public so they can search sex offenders living in their state. Now, New Jersey was one of the few to initially start that. And I'm sure you've all heard about this case. 94, and here's the reason for the registration and notification in New Jersey. In '94, Jesse moved in across the street, that's the perpetrator on the right, moved in across the street from Megan and their family after serving his entire prison sentence after sexually abusing 2 children. Well, at that time, there was no notification. They had no idea that he moved across the street. So one day while she's out riding her bicycle, she comes up missing. The next day, she's found dead. After the adoption of the Megan Law, the state of Alabama began their registration of sex offenders along with other states, including the District of Columbia. This is nationwide. Failure to follow the federal mandates would result in a loss of 10% of funding to criminal law enforcement nationwide. The state of Alabama began mandating, putting a little more teeth